students, welcome to English language teaching class. In my previous video, I talked about the concept of prose teaching, and continuing with that, today our topic is how to prepare English prose lesson plan, and I am going to discuss the steps of entire lesson plan. It will be helpful in your internship. So let's start it. Now look at this slide. This is telling about the blackboard entry. Now what does that mean? In every type of lesson plan, either it is prose lesson plan or poetry lesson plan or grammar or composition lesson plan, we have to write this blackboard entry in lesson plan diary as well as on classboard, or you can say blackboard, green board, whiteboard. Here you have to mention the date on which you are going to teach and the class you have to mention which is allotted to you. Then your class period, and after that you have to mention the time, which means for how many minutes you are taking your period. And of course subject, that is English, and the school's name is only you have to mention in lesson plan diary, not to write on the classboard. And the topic you have to write after the introductory questions when you are going to announce your new topic. Now these are the general objectives of prose lesson plan. To enable the students to read English with proper stress, intonation and pause. To develop the comprehensive ability. To enrich the vocabulary. To stimulate the interest of the students toward English language. To motivate the imagination and creative abilities. So students, whenever you are preparing your prose lesson plan, general objectives will remain same. These are the specific objectives of prose lesson plan. Students, now here you have to remember that while writing specific objectives of any prose content, you have to mention the objectives based on that particular content. These objectives will be always differ from the other prose content. Moreover, these objectives are based on Bloom's 3 domains of learning. These are cognitive, affective and psychomotor. And here also you can see that these objectives are based on Bloom's domains of learning. The first one is to acquaint the students with the passage Santa's Christmas. And the second one is to develop the vocabulary of the students by introducing new words such as hustle and bustle, hoping out, mitten, out of breath, quilt, etc. And the third one is to motivate the students to understand the true meaning of Christmas. Now these are the general material aids which is pupil teacher is going to use in the classroom. They are like blackboard, green board, whiteboard, chalk, duster, pointing stick, roller board, etc. And the second one is the specific aids which are based on the prose content like chart, model, flashcards based on lesson plan. And in previous knowledge, we assumed that the students have general knowledge or awareness about the content which is pupil teacher is going to teach. Now in this slide, we are going to see the introductory question asked by the pupil teacher to the students. So by showing picture or any teaching aid, pupil teacher will ask these questions. So the first question is, in this picture, who distributes gifts to children? The answer will be Santa. Second question is, on which occasion Santa gives gifts to children? Answer will be on Christmas. And the third question is, what is the true meaning of Christmas? Now this question may be problematic or students may not be able to answer this question. So here the pupil teacher will announce the topic and write on the blackboard. So here pupil teacher will announce the topic to the students, Santa's Christmas by Lavina Tien. Model reading. In this step, pupil teacher will read the passage with correct stress, pronunciation and intonation, while the students follow in their books. Santa's Christmas by Lavina Tien. It was a beautiful December day with clear blue skies and snow-covered treetops. Christmas was in the air, but up in Santa's lodge, all was quiet. The usual hustle and bustle of preparing Christmas presents was missing, for Santa had fallen ill. Oh dear, what will the children say when they don't receive presents this year? Santa wondered sadly as he lay in his bed. Suddenly, he heard a noise from outside. He looked out of the window and saw his 4 reindeer standing patiently as usual. But they seemed quite out of breath, as if they had just finished a long trip. And as Santa took a closer look, he could not believe what he saw. For behind the reindeer was a long train of sleds carrying little children dressed in all sorts of colors. One by one, they hopped out onto the snow and headed towards Santa's lodge. Soon there was a knock on the door. "Come in," Santa called out, for he was extremely curious. In came a little girl hugging something soft in her arms. "I heard that you were sick, Mr. Santa," she began, "so I am giving you my teddy bear to keep you company." "Why, thank you, little Emma," said Santa, for he knew every child by name. Then a young boy entered with a red package in his arms. "We knew that you were ill, Papa Santa," he said, "so my family knitted this quilt for you to keep you warm in the winter days." "Why, what a wonderful thought, Paul," beamed Santa, patting him on the head. And one by one the children came in through Santa's door, each with a special gift to wish Santa well. There were cookies, pies, socks, mittens, books, jigsaw puzzles, and even a small Christmas tree. "Christmas delivered to my doorstep!" exclaimed Santa. "Come, let us all share these wonderful gifts." And he gathered the children around him in a big circle. "Santa, which present do you like best?" Emma soon piped up. "My dear little ones," Santa replied smiling, "the love and the kindness that each of you has shown me today is the best present of all." He looked fondly at all the eager faces around him. This, my little one, is the true meaning of Christmas." And with that, Santa gave each of the children a big warm holiday hug. Now this is the another step of prose lesson plan. Loud reading. The pupil teacher will ask the students to read the passage aloud and clear. Follow-up reading. Students read a passage aloud one by one, while pupil teacher will check mistakes in pronunciation. So with the help of flashcards or classboard, pupil teacher will pronounce these words with correct stress and accent and then ask the students to repeat them correctly after him. Say for example, quiet, usual, hustle and bustle, wondered, patiently, hopped out, curious, package, knitted, beamed, patting, mittens, gathered. So exposition of difficult word is the most important step in prose lesson plan, because here in this step pupil teacher will use different techniques or device to find out the meaning of difficult words. This step is quite interesting also, as here pupil teacher is interacting more with the students and to find out the meaning of word. and can make the class more interesting and joyful. So firstly, pupil teacher will ask the meaning of the difficult word. So for example, he or she will ask that what is the meaning of hustle and bustle. Suppose if students do not know the meaning, he will use the technique or device which is called antonym, and he will ask the question based on that technique. For example, what is the opposite of peaceful place? Now the students get help from this technique and they will at least try to answer this question, and they will say the opposite of peaceful place, and the pupil teacher make it more correct. And the pupil teacher can use the picture also to find out the meaning of difficult word. So what is the actual meaning of hustle and bustle? This is the noisy surroundings or large amount of activity. In the same way, to find out the meaning of difficult word, pupil teacher can use the picture technique or action to find out the correct meaning. Say for example, hopped out. Now here the pupil teacher can do the action or can show the picture or animation to find out the meaning, and students can try to answer this question. This means jumped out. Here also in the same way, pupil teacher can use the technique. The word is out of breath. Students don't know the meaning of this. He can or she can show the picture. Meaning is breathing with difficulty. Again, you can use that technique. What is the meaning of quilt? Students are not able to answer. You can show the picture or can ask questions to the students. It is a kind of a warm blanket. Again, this is a new word for students, mitten, and students are not able to answer. So you can use the question technique to find out the meaning. For example, in winter season, to keep our hands warm, what do we wear? So now students maybe answer in Hindi or in their own language, regional language. You accept that answer and translate in English. It's okay. Our purpose is to make them understand the meaning of that difficult word, and you can use the picture also to find out the meaning. So after completing the step, pupil teacher will instruct the students to note down all these word meanings in their notebook, and he or she will supervise them. So this is also a very important step in prose lesson plan, as a pupil teacher will give 6 to 8 or 8 to 10 minutes to explain the entire passage in their own words with the help of chart or model or working model or any kind of effective aid. So this passage is about to tell the true meaning of Christmas, and for that, in this story, on the occasion of Christmas, Santa was not well and he was worried about for the children when they will not receive presents this year. So Christmas was in the air. It was a beautiful December day with the clear blue skies and snow-covered treetops. But in Santa's house, all was very quiet. There was no noise, no gifts preparation, as Santa had fallen ill. When he was thinking what will happen this year, what will children think, suddenly he heard a noise from outside and he looked out of the window, and what he saw that the reindeer was a long train of sleds carrying little children dressed in all sorts of colors, and one by one they hopped out onto the snow and headed towards the Santa's lodge. Then a little girl named Emma entered into the Santa's house and brought a teddy bear for Santa. And he was very happy to receive such a beautiful gift from a little girl. Then entered a young boy named Paul, and he had a very beautiful red package with him. And he told to Santa that his family knitted quilt for him to keep him warm. And Santa was overwhelmed by his gift. And one by one, the children came in through Santa's door, each with a special gift to wish Santa well. And Christmas delivered to my doorstep, exclaimed Santa. know children, what were those gifts? Those gifts were cookies, pies, books, socks, mittens, jigsaw puzzles, and even a small Christmas tree delivered to him. Santa was very happy to see all these gifts received by the little ones. And he said, "Come, let us all share these wonderful gifts." And he gathered the children around him in a big circle. Then Emma asked to the Santa, "Which present do you like most, Santa?" Santa replied smiling, "The love and the kindness that each of you has shown me today is the best present of all." And he also said that spreading love, respect, humanity, compassion for people is the true meaning of Christmas. And he gave him a big hug to the all children. So after explanation of the passage and silent reading, pupil teacher will ask some comprehensive questions to the students to assess their understanding. And these questions may be of one word or in one or two sentences. Students can answer these questions. And 4 to 5 questions pupil teacher may ask in this step. So for example, who is the author of the story? What did Emma bring for Santa? What Santa saw out of his window? Why was Santa sad on Christmas this year? Like this. So basically, the moral of the story is that if we have values like loving each other, sharing our happiness with everybody, kindness is in our nature, helping to poor and needy people, then we can actually do the celebration of any festival. In fact, every festival is a celebration of humanity. Every year these festivals came to remind our inherent values of kindness and love for each other, which are the true meaning of Christmas or any other festival. So after summarizing the passage, pupil teacher will ask 2 or 3 recapitulatory questions to assess the cognitive, affective or sometimes psychomotor ability of the students. Here you can see this 2 questions prepared by the pupil teacher. What gifts did children bring for Santa and what is the true meaning of Christmas? With the help of rollerboard, pupil teacher will evaluate the student's knowledge, understanding of that particular prose content. Here, fill in the blanks is given, but you can evaluate in other ways also. You may give true, false, or match the following, or correct sentence formation, correct story formation, spell check, MCQs, etc. So the last step is home assignment, and while giving this work, it should be based on some kind of research, their creativity, their experience, which means something original thought or original comes through this home assignment. Thank you very much for watching this video patiently, and I will come soon with poetry and grammar lesson plans also. Till then, bye bye, stay tuned, happy learning.